We want to start off today by first thanking everyone who's come, especially those of you wearing those wonderfully bright yellow shirts, which talk about the importance of not just protecting, but preserving and promoting Social Security and Medicare. And so thank you for being here. But secondly, we're here because today, in just a short while, the trustees of the Social Security program are going to announce that they have finished their annual report on the health of the Social Security system. That trustee report has been done every single year of the 80 years of the Social Security program's existence. So that in of itself is not remarkable. 20 years ago, they did a report as well. What's interesting about 20 years ago is that in 1994, Congress, working with the Social Security Administration, had to make some refinements, some fine-tuning to Social Security to make sure that the three pillars of Social Security, the retirement portion for those who retire after having worked and paid into the system, the disability portion for those who worked and paid into the system and then became disabled, and the portion that's set aside for those who are the survivors of American workers who paid into the system but unfortunately perished at some point, and now their survivors receive benefits. Those three portions had to be fine-tuned back in 1994 to make sure that Americans who paid into Social Security could expect to receive the benefits they had worked to earn. That was 1994. I was there at the time. I think I'm the only member present here who was there at the time in 1994. And we voted essentially unanimously in 1994 to make that refinement, a reallocation of funds from one pot to another to make sure that all three of the pillars of Social Security continued forward. The great thing about Social Security in its 80 years, not once has it failed to pay in full and on time to every person who has qualified by working and paying into Social Security. And so today it shouldn't be remarkable to hear the Social Security Trustees report tell us that some 60 million Americans are receiving Social Security benefits, whether retirement, disability payments, or the survivors of an American worker. And it shouldn't be surprising that the trustees report will probably tell us that somewhere over 160 million Americans are working and paying into Social Security today to be able to also receive those earned benefits into the future. But what is remarkable about today is that 2015 is very different from 1994 or any other of the 80 other years we've seen in Congress, because as of this year, we can no longer do the fine-tuning that has been done 11 times by the Social Security Administration to balance the different pots of the three pillars. We can't do that anymore, not because there's been a change and not because money isn't being contributed. It's because of a change of a rule in the House of Representatives so that we can no longer do those reallocations that have been done, as I said, 11 times through 6 separate congressional authorizations to make those fine-tuning adjustments. We can't do that anymore because a rule in the House now prohibits us from doing so. So what we find is that Social Security has been shoved into this political debate. Now politicians, not the money that's in the Social Security system, holds the fate of people who paid into Social Security in its hands. Because if it were left simply to the Social Security system and the money we paid in, there wouldn't be a problem because there are $2.8 trillion in the trust fund of the Social Security system for people like Susan, who will speak briefly. So rather than engage in this politics, rather than engage in the bureaucratic fine-tuning that's had to go on several occasions, why not just make Social Security be what everyone believes it to be and understands it to be? One system providing one wraparound benefit, so whether you perish and you have to leave something for your family members who survive you, whether you become disabled and can no longer work, or whether you reach retirement age, you have your Social Security because you paid for it. And so today we're introducing legislation called the One Social Security Act, which essentially says when we deposit our money into the Social Security system through our taxes that we contribute out of our paycheck, it goes into one Social Security system for one purpose, to pay us the benefits we earned, whether we need it for disability, for retirement, or because we die and our survivors need that money. That bill, H.R. 3150, ensures the protections that we all expect, and it places in harmony what we take for granted, that Social Security will be there because you earned it if you worked in America and you paid into Social Security. And so that's why we're here to talk to you, because we want one Social Security that is not filled with the gamesmanship of politics here in Congress. And with that, let me now yield to Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky from Illinois.